Hello everybody, nice to see you today. How are you? What's been happening? Anything kind of particularly interesting happening? In my state where I live, New South Wales in Australia, all the kids are going back to school next week. Full time back to school. Kids have been kind of going back 1 or 2 days a week, this week and last week, and next week everyone goes back together. So that's pretty cool. I can't believe, I started making these videos when the virus first started and we all kind of got sent home. And slowly, in Australia at least, we're starting to kind of be able to go out a little bit at a time again, which is good. It means that we're getting better. And the virus is kind of a little bit under control. We're still got to be super careful. And we can't go anywhere if we get sick. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about editing. Okay, about editing. So because I'm ready to tell you kind of where I'm up to in the next bit of Funny Kid Belly Flop. Okay, because remember I've been explaining to you the process. You're kind of traveling with me as I make Funny Kid Belly Flop, which is Funny Kid 8. It's the one that comes after Peking Duck, and it'll come out later in the year. And so I talked to you a fair bit while I was writing the manuscript the last few weeks, and then I told you that that I send the manuscript to my publisher, and they edit it. Okay, and so I've got the edit back, and that's what this is. This is Funny Kid Belly Flop. Okay, can you see that? Word count 20,472 words. Okay, this is a Funny Kid book. It will end up like one of these, but right now it looks like this. Okay, and it's just a whole lot of words. Okay, no pictures or anything in here yet. That'll be the next stage. Okay, and so what this is this is the edit. This is what comes back and goes kind of back and forth between me and my editor and my publisher at HarperCollins or ABC Books, which is my publisher. See ABC Books on there. In Australia, that's who publishes me, and that's the team that I work with, and they're amazing. And so this is kind of what it looks like. It's a little bit like if you wrote a story and you gave it to your teacher, and then the teacher wrote on it and kind of marked it up with suggestions and changes and oh, you spelt that word wrong. It's a bit like that. It comes back to me like that. So I'll show you. So for instance, see how there's colours? Can you see some of the colours there? And then there's some comments up here. And on each page, there are highlighted words, there are added words in the colours, there are notes over here that I respond to. This is the first chapter. So there's kind of notes, lots of comments on that page, and lots of work and some extra new text down here in the green. You'll notice here that all my chapters don't have chapter headings yet. Okay, that just says chapter heading. Okay, so in the Funny Kid books, I do the chapter headings a little bit different to most books. They're kind of just jokes. They're like little comments and jokes and playful things. They're not kind of titles as such. It's not like Chapter 7, The Great Escape. It's like Chapter 7, What's so wrong with you? Which is a sarong joke because there's sarong jokes in here. There's Hugo wearing a sarong on the back. I'm getting distracted. So I don't do those chapter headings until I kind of do the illustrations, because sometimes those chapter headings are jokes about the illustrations, and I don't always know what the illustrations are going to be yet. So what I do is I go through. See, look, there's a big one. There's a big page. I go through all of this, and I make my own notes, and I make changes that they've suggested, or I go, no, I don't. That's not really what I was trying to do. So that's a bit unclear. So actually, I'm going to change this and rewrite that section. This one was pretty good. This is pretty light. There's not a whole lot in this one. Sometimes I've done edits on Funny Kid books and I've rewritten half the book. Okay, but this is pretty good. Everyone's kind of pretty happy with this one. Everyone thinks it's funny. That's good. Every now and again, my editors write like, ha ha ha, on the side as their comment, and that's really nice because that means they laughed out loud. This is what I mean when I say often in the back of a Funny Kid book that like Making Funny Kid is a team effort. There's lots of people that work on this book. I'm the only one that has my name on the front, okay? But there's lots of people that work on it. And they have ideas and suggestions and they make it better. One of the things that they pick up on a lot is things like repetition. So they're really good at spotting, like where I say, okay, here's a bit. I said, I point to the pool and nod to Pip. Time to move quickly. Let's get the sea monster into the pool. Right? Pool and pool. So it would be good, they suggest, if I change one of those words, so it's not pool and pool. So I changed it to, I point to the pool, kept that pool, and nod to Pip. Time to move quickly. Let's get the sea monster into the water. Right? Which just kind of reads a little bit nice, a bit kind of nicer. So let's see, how many comments were there in the entire edit? There were 133. 133 comments in a 20,000 word book, which in this, how many pages is this one? I don't know actually. I didn't put a page number on it. And so that's what we do. We go through and we kind of make the words the best that they can be. And now that I've done that, I've now done all of my comments. I send it back to my editor, and my editor makes sure that they're kind of happy with everything that I've done and things like that. And then they do what's called flowing it into pages. Now, when I get that back from them, which I'm getting back soon, I will show you what that means. But it's the stage where it starts to look like it will in the book, except it won't have any pictures in it, because then my next job is to put all the pictures in. So that's kind of where I'm up to right now with Funny Kid Belly Flop. Now remember, this is cool because you're going to be able to see this finished book at the end, and then you'll have this whole process of exactly how it was that I made it. Now I want to give you a story starter today. Last week I did a story starter about a hedgehog on a skateboard. Remember that? Okay, and then Jude wrote that awesome story and emailed it to me, and then I read it on here as story time, and I really enjoyed doing that. I want to do that a lot more. Okay, so my story starter. I'm going to give you a story starter for today, for this week. Okay, here it is. Here is your story starter for this week. Extreme Trampoline. Extreme Trampoline. Make of that whatever you like. But write me a funny short story that comes from the idea Extreme Trampoline. Okay? I want to laugh. Like, I really, really want to laugh. So send me the funniest story that you can possibly write. And then I'd love to be able to pick one or two or however many as we go along to be able to read out on this channel at some point to make everyone else laugh. Okay, that's the great thing about creating stuff. You share it and then it can bring joy to everybody else. So write a story about Extreme Trampoline and email it to here, matt.stanton@gmail.com. Okay, that email address is also in the back of the Funny Kid books, so you can email me your story and I would love to read it. All right, thanks guys. It's been cool to see you today. I have work to do, so I'm going to keep going. But I will see you back here tomorrow, and we're going to do some drawing tomorrow. All right, see you guys.